Hey guys, just a quick video on how to create a name tag. These are used on your toolboxes and alike. What I'm going to do is I'll go through the exact same way that you would, so I really encourage you to download that CPUB file but put it onto your desktop. You can then double click on there and log into your remote desktop. And I'm in mine at the moment. What you would then come up with, you'd have this screen come up, and so this is my remote desktop that's come up. You need to wait I counted today, it took about 30 to 45 seconds for that black screen to load up, which is giving me my license for RDWorks. Once that's come up, then click on it. So you really need to wait for that black screen to come and go first before you click on RDWorks. From there, just open up the program, and we're going to start off by drawing a simple rectangle. So there's my rectangle tool, just a left click to select it and then left click again, and I'm dragging my rectangle out. If I then select it, and I'll know it's selected because it's red, and then these values become available to me. So I've got 100mm in width and then 40mm in height. That's what I'll be using for my Year 10 parts tray. So with that, sorry about the background noise, with that I've got my part there. I'm then going to click on this magnifying glass with an A in it, so that's zoom all, and I can then go backwards a little bit, and that's the shape of my tag. So to get the machine to cut it out, what I want to do, I want to get off this selection tool, so I can either click on here or press escape twice. I want to get off the zoom tool and go to the selection tool, and that's it there. I'll select my shape here, and I'm going to change its color to green. And so that's cut now, so it's now green and it's cut, and I now need to change my settings for it. So if I double click on this, you can go through and change your settings. Now, the example that I'm giving today is if we were using the big laser in the senior workshop, and to do a cut, we need to slow the machine down to 10mm a second. We need the processing mode to be on cut and the output to be yes. We're going to deselect the second laser, and on the poster it probably says 30%. I'm just going to up it to 35% because our laser is getting a little bit older now. We need to up the percentage of power to make it cut through correctly, or I could slow down the speed, but for now we'll go 10 and 35, and that should cut through nicely for you. So that's to get the outline of our name tag. For text, I'm simply going to select text here, and then I can put in my text. So I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm going to go caps, and I'm just going to write my name. Boom. I can then grab the corner of it, and if I hold down shift, it will increase or decrease the size of the text without, whilst keeping it in proportion. That's what the shift key does. So I can then place my text, and for my text, well, if I cut that out, it's not going to look too bad actually. The galvanized sheet will come through and I'll be able to see it. But for certain letters like A and D, you'll lose the inside of the letter. So it's best to make this a scan value. Now scan, we're going to associate that with another colour, and we're going to use blue for that colour. So if I make that blue, I then need to change my settings over here and say, okay, well for a scan, I'm going to make that 500mm a second, and I need to change the processing mode to scan, and the power, well, I can turn that down as well. I'm going to go to 25% of the laser's power, and everything else stays the same, and I'll click OK. So now my shape's going to be cut out on the green line, and they'll scan in the text, so it's going to fill that in for me. It would be cool to put a image on here. So what I did before was I went to Google and I typed in the word fishing and decal, And so decal is going to help you get a nice black and white image. A coloured image like this will not scan in very well at all. It needs to be black and white. And decal, by putting the word decal in there, it's an industry term for sticker, it's really going to help. So if I right click on that and I'll go save picture as, on the remote desktop you need to go to this PC and find your name. So I've gone to my name, that's my drive. I'm going to go into documents, and I've already created, and you can do it by right clicking and create a new folder and call it whatever the class is that you're working in. So this one's 10DTENG, and in there I've then saved it as fish. So you would click save. Going back into RDWorks, I'm then going to go into import. Now there's a couple of ways you can do it. There's the tab there. If you forget which one it is, you could always go file and look for the word import, but we're importing a picture. So let's try that one now, and I'll go open. It's going to bring it in. It's going to make it way too big, which is great. I'm going to left click, and to hold its proportion, I'm going to hold down shift, and I will then drag that and place it into my name tag here. If I select it, I'll know it's selected because it turns red, and because it's a BMP, okay, so it's an image, I'm going to change it to black. We're going to make it scan, and we'll have the same scan values as the text. So I go scan, so it's 30, which it already is, but the speed needs to be sped up. So, oh, sorry, 25%, not 30, 25. And so a BMP scan is just an image. Scan is just used for text and shapes. They will always have the same speed and power values because ultimately it's the same process. So now, that's what I'm hoping to achieve. I want you to double check your settings. You can then save this, and I'm wanting you to save it in that same folder. So I call it name tag and then your name, and then I would click save. You're then going to need to get onto your email on the remote desktop side. So go onto the internet, go to the school portal, and then you're then going to send it to the CNC laser email. Now I don't know it off the top of my head, I'm just going to look at it right now. I've got it written down, and that would be unitydcnc@bne.catholic.edu.au. Now that email address will be available to you on your Teams page as well, and it should also be put on the board for you. That's a really basic name tag, but it's a really good start for you to become independent on the laser and start thinking about these settings. Any that get emailed and the settings are incorrect, I will be deleting the email on the laser, and you can have another go at doing it. This is saved, so it won't take you long to change, but it's very important that you check these settings are correct and that you've done the right colour settings over here as well.